Okay. Good morning, Speedgaming 4. We're here for the kickoff to the bracket stage for the ALTTPR tournament here at Speedgaming Live. We got a good matchup to kick us off today. We got secretlyasliver, aka Sean, versus kohrek. Norsk Maddie is joining me here today on commentary, and we got a big group of fans watching behind us.
Yeah. Good morning or evening, everyone. That's Will, WC, by the way. We're very excited about this matchup. Two great runners. The whole bracket is stacked with great runners, so we'll be seeing a lot of them all the next couple of days.
Yeah, we had a lot of excitement last night. 13-person play-in race for 7 spots, technically.
Yeah.
Kohrek was the winner of Group A, so he did not have to participate in that. Sean made it as part of a 3-way tie from Group J, being the second finisher out of the group, but I believe the second or third finisher overall in the race, making it into the bracket stage here.
Yeah. Sounds like it was quite the race last night. Doesn't get any easier for him now.
Doesn't get easier for any of our runners at this point. We've got we got a lot of just really strong names here in the top 16, as expected, given the qualification process to get here and the groups that we had originally. Mode we're playing today, in case you haven't been catching up on any of the action here, is a modified casual boots mode. So 7 crystals required to get into GT, 7 crystals required to defeat Ganon. We're going to start with boots and a sword, and we are off.
Yeah, we can only get up to blue mail, tempered sword. We will get the progressive bows and silvers if they find them. 2 bottles are the max they can get, although all 4 are placed.
Yep, and a few other changes to make it just a little more difficult. Some of the heart containers have been removed and replaced with extra heart pieces. The half magic is now gone. We lost video here
We
on
can't
the
see anything.
commentary side, so.
But they're going through the escape sequence now, so.
Hang on, I'm going to pull out and watch Speedgaming 4 on my phone.
Thanks. Yeah, we're back.
All right, we are back. We will have to kind of figure out what happened in the map chest. But otherwise, it seems like we're still on track here.
Yeah, one of many heart pieces that we'll see was just acquired there in the boomerang chest.
And looks like everyone is handling the ball and chain guard.
Just fine.
Always just is not that difficult, but it's always a little bit more difficult when you're on restream to start the morning.
Yeah, you get off rhythm just a little bit, and all of a sudden it starts going sideways, and yeah, it's nice to just get that done.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll see if we get any kind of divergence coming out of the castle here. Obviously, most of the time you're going to be into Kakariko, just for the density of items there, but there are some kind of alternative plays you can make, and we'll see if you can see a little wave there from Sean. Yeah. There are a few different plays you can make to change it up in the early game, or you can kind of just wait and see where the seed tells you to go.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going to CAC, you can sometimes make the decision: do I want to check Lumberjack or not? But with the bombs that they've gotten out of here, there's an option to, just go straight to South Shore or something like that, and see if you can pick up a flute or bottle and maybe make the CAC trip a little bit more efficient.
Right, and the sword gives us a nice weapon to have for mini Moldorm or anything else that we would want to do early. Glove opens up the mountain, at least for a couple of checks right now. There's a few different things that you can find here that could, pull you away and say, hey, maybe I'll hold off on CAC until a little bit later.
Yeah.
There's a small key as expected. So we'll see what's in the back here. We've got 3 items in back of escape and the sanctuary chest still to check.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we saw the map. It might have been the chest that we missed.
Yeah, it could have been a vanilla map. We're not really sure, but we'll
see.
We'll piece it all together here soon. And Kohrek's gonna be first through to the bonkable wall here.
Oh, Sean seems to have misplaced his key rat. No, he's hiding up. He's back. He's up there in Seattle.
The key rat behaved a little bit more nicely for Kohrek. He's going to get out of escape here with about a 513.
Okay, so
hey, there's some progression. So we got a glove there in the sanctuary chest.
Now, if you're truly wild, you can go over here to Lost Woods, and then you can water walk over to like the Zor area. That's a that's a thing that people have done before.
It is a thing that people do, and I admire people who have the courage to commit to a play like that.
I don't have that kind of courage.
Yeah, no.
If courage is what you want to call it, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll stick to my long walk to Ice Rod Cave the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. Like we did in the old days.
Looks like our tier 2 there is 10 arrow pack out of the tree pole. And we are going to see what is at Lumberjack today.
Looks like just bombs up there. So we only need to kill Aga if it's a requirement to get in the Dark World.
That is correct. Sean following the same route here as Kohrek, so he's going to come up here. Looks like he's going to get the Lumberjack check as well, and then head into Lost Woods right behind Kohrek. Got a heart piece at the mushroom spot, and we will drop into the Lost Woods hideout and see if there's anything better for us here. Nope, same thing.
Surprise.
There's going to be a lot of heart pieces today. I believe there's, 48 of them in the pool now?
Yeah, and I think you can have up to a maximum of 14 hearts, and it's actually kind of hard to do that, and you really don't want to because that means you pretty much full cleared the seed, but you're going to get a lot of heart pieces, which is why you can skip ones like the one you see there on the mushroom spot. It's like, although I think Sean wants it. Still early in the match.
Yeah, and there's something to be said, especially early, for picking up, if you come across that, it might be the difference between a 4-heart and 5-heart moth, later on, and that could be worth a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, especially early on, this mode can force some low percentage boss fights and things like that, so a little extra health is not unwelcome.
No. So we got some big money there out of Blind's Hut and a Quake medallion. And speaking of that setup you were talking about, looks like Sean is setting up a bonk over the hole there at the Lost Woods hideout. Okay. So we might be seeing that play on his side here.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Doing something different here.
Yeah, so a little bit of a variation here. Kohrek's going to pull Master Sword there out of the first chest of the well. and an ice rod out of the back. Meanwhile, we're going to see what's over at Ice Rod Cave on Sean's side. See if this kind of early gambit pays some dividends for him here. That's a Moon Pearl.
Yeah.
That counts as
That's
a dividend.
That's nice. Yeah. I expect kohrek will get it at some point, but we're going to get to the Water Walk. We don't have the Zora money, and actually kohrek is pretty close to Zora money on his end. He might be able to have enough by the time he comes over here. And if he chooses to do this Water Walk out of Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah.
There's a hammer.
So hammer there in the chicken hut. We see one of our two male upgrades, although only one of them will actually be able to be picked up by the runners, sitting on Hylia Island there from Sean. All right, so between our two runners, we have Dark World access now.
Yeah, there's a very early Dark World access going on in this seed, which is both welcome and not, because you have a lot of options now.
Yeah, that we were just talking about those low heart Dark World boss fights.
Yeah.
You could be, we could be expected to be in Thieves Town real soon here.
Right.
We did see Kana Burna there on the hobo check on Sean's side. So nice to have that early safety, especially in this modified item pool mode.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet if either one of them has done a map check yet.
I have not seen a map check yet from either. Looks like kohrek is heading south here. I think he's going to go to the dam first here, and then we'll see if he goes straight to Mini Moldorm or if he continues west to Agina. Bombs and a heart piece over in Waterfall Ferry for Sean. And we're just going to be able to peek the Zora Ledge item.
Yeah. There's a kind of a fortuitous Moon Pearl, actually, for Sean. He was able to undo that fake flipper and get the items there. He wouldn't have been able to do that if he didn't have that Moon Pearl there.
It's true. And
right.
Morning Brain strikes when you realize Zora's not going to give you the 145 rupee discount. We did see Tempered Sword there for kohrek in the chest of the dam, so that's going to be the maximum sword that he can get up to. We will see a green 20 in the pool if he finds the fourth sword, which would have been the gold sword.
Yeah. All right, some sword beams get rid of those pesky mini Moldorms very quickly.
We're going to see Sean in here as well. Now, 3 heart pieces out of the 5 and a couple of small rupees. And kohrek is going to continue east here. He's going to get to, he's going to get over to Ice Rod Cave, get his Moon Pearl. The question is going to be, is he going to farm up the rupees here to get up to Zora money from the Thief Cave here? He's opening it.
He's opening it. You will need to go in twice.
Yeah. And then looks like Sean is going to head west from Mini Moldorm Cave. So he's going to pick up it'll be Master Sword for him from the dam here, but he may be the first one to show us Agina over there.
Yeah, that might be why he started with Mini Moldorm to get this route where he gets all the checks here in one go.
Yeah, and I think you might see, kind of a little early inclination of Sean's game plan for this is just to make a few sort of off-meta plays and see what kind of advantage you can get from them, like the Ice Rod Cave play, coming out of Lost Woods there.
Right, yeah. Does seem to be the early strategy here. He still hasn't gone into Kakariko yet.
Yeah. Now, kohrek he opened the cave, but did not go in there to get any of the rupees. So at 470 here, I don't think we had anything. Okay, so he's
not
even
going to bother with
yeah.
Which is fair. He can now, not just isolating Zora, he's got reason to go back there if he finds flippers or something like that.
Right. And yes, given that it was out of logic anyway, not really, no major advantage, disadvantage, and
gonna head.
He's got Dark World access, so it makes sense that he would want to.
He's got a lot to do out there.
Yeah.
We did see a map check on the Light World from Sean, I believe, and it was a couple crystals and a Pendant Desert. We also got pendants at Meyer and Thievestown.
And I believe red crystals were Swamp and Pod.
I missed those, unfortunately.
So Sean is heading over here. It looks like maybe we're...
All right, so.
I'm not sure where we're going right now. I think we're... Okay, we're going to CAC. Just double checking to make sure we did Bonk Rocks coming out. And looks like kohrek is heading west over here towards Stumpy and Dig Game.
Yep.
Meanwhile, this will be Sean's Kakariko trip, so he's going to pick up the hammer in the chicken hut and have his Dark World access there. So he'll probably come into Dark World from the village. If I have to imagine at the end of this route.
So that's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, and again, that's kind of maybe not necessarily you're guaranteed an advantage from it, but part of doing that CAC skip play early is that you're doing something different than your opponent did. You may be finding the items in just a different order, and that can work out for you sometimes.
Yeah.
Two digs for a 3-pack of bombs.
All right. Yep. Got to save and quit, and isn't too much that the kohrek can do other than go back to Vu here. I think you can go to the eastern area. That's probably not very appealing without a bow. And
eastern or going up the mountain out of logic for 2 checks.
Yeah, that's
none of these sound like real winner ideas.
Yeah,
here.
This is definitely
it feels like the seed is
here.
telling you, hey, go to Thievestown, go to front of Skullwoods, do something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that the Thievestown is a pendant here, because we got the hammer and everything to fully clear it so early. So it does kind of make you wonder: is there something back there, like in the back?
And kohrek's, okay, he is going to take advantage of that. The free magic refill there coming out of the tree. Anyway, Sean has his hammer now, so he will have the decision to make. Sean, I think, needed just a touch more caffeine in the coffee at the hotel here this morning.
And we don't get this too often. The cameras on the runners, but you can see his reaction of walking in there and not having a bottle. Like, I didn't need to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is a thing that I didn't appreciate, this being my first SGL that I've attended, how different it is playing on an awkward setup in a room full of people that are, milling about and talking and occasionally cheering. And, I'm not saying that I'm the most unflappable person in the world, but the first race that I did here this weekend was just I feel like I'm playing the game in a new way from how different it feels. And so it definitely throws off your timing and rhythm on a few things, and it definitely can lead to just some little, focus related mistakes. Anyway, we're here now in Pendant Thievestown. Heart piece in the first chest for kohrek.
Yeah, nothing of value in Vu. So we might see kohrek go all the way into the back of this Thievestown if he doesn't get anything in the front here.
Yeah, 2 items there in the first 2 checks, though. Even, with for him, there may not be a lot of better options than just finishing out Thievestown here, but it's still not a real...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much it helps with the appeal, but this is the green pendant, so when you do go back over to the eastern area, you'll be able to, if you finish this, you'll be able to drop that off.
That's true, and that might be enough to get you to go ahead and just commit to clearing this, especially if this is... Oh, no, that's item 3.
That's the 3rd item.
You can...
there's only...
You can read straight off of kohrek's face what he thinks about that. Clearing out here Thievestown now for 1 more item and the green pendant.
Yeah, so 2 items in total, but it's a lot of time that you're going to have to spend here doing this, but I'm not sure that there's a better option than this, though.
Really there isn't.
So
you're either going to a dungeon that you can't complete somewhere, you can go to Pod.
You can go to Pod.
Unless you're sure you're going to find a bow there.
Yeah, And that's a dungeon that can lock you out immediately without a bow, logically. I mean, mimic clipping exists, so...
Right, but still no bottles yet, even for either runner, so you're going to have to do a mimic clip if you want to get through that way.
Yeah.
Oh, there's item 4, so now kohrek is
all of the rest
knowing
of this
that he's committing the rest of this, or committing to the rest of this dungeon clear for just the green pendant item and a third of his pedestal access later on if we need that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sean is just expressing his feelings on how the seed has started out here in the first 19 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like we were saying about SGL, I mean, and how often when you're racing at home do you have an audience of people that are watching you race, like right in front of you? Because I don't.
Yeah, I have my 2 or 3 loyal Twitch viewers.
Yeah.
But not a room full of people. It is a very different atmosphere. It is a lot of fun, though.
It is a lot of fun, yeah.
It's been a great week here, and still got a couple more days of action here. This being the start of the round of 16 for the Link to the Past randomizer tournament, and obviously plenty of other games being represented here as well. So, blind fight coming up here for kohrek. We know it's not going to be anything. We know it's not going to be a prize here directly, but we are going to get the green pendant that we can redeem later on at Sahasrahla. Nice clean blind fight there from kohrek as Sean is making his way through the village checks here, and we'll see what he does when he gets faced with the Thieves Town decision on, do I want to commit to doing this?
Yeah. Especially once he figures out that there's 3 items in the front. Is he going to be interested in getting that one item in the green pendant?
Mm-hmm. All right, you're getting a save quit out of kohrek here, so he may be going... I wonder if he's going straight to that.
Yeah.
And going to just save Skullwoods, and I mean, can't really do anything else in the north end without Cape or Mirror, but maybe trying to hold that off for a little bit longer here just to get a little more efficiency out of that route.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see Saw here first, it looks like, and then it's a decision on Eastern or Pod. All right, so yeah, unfortunately that blind trip was.
So unless we're checking pedestal today, that Thieves Town trip was very empty.
Yeah. And so is the rest of Saha's closet back here.
Yep, 3 heart pieces and a shield. That will be the only one that kohrek picks up. And looks like Sean is choosing to continue on here in Thieves Town as well.
Yeah, so he'll get the disappointment in a few minutes. kohrek has decided to just walk into Eastern here out of Saha.
I feel like the disappointment is already present. Oh no, and the...
That Zyzok just walked right up onto him.
Yeah, I wonder if that'll get him to just... Yep.
Yeah, he's going to leave, which is actually going to work out for him if he never comes back.
Right. That may be a blessing in disguise death there for Sean, and that he's not going to commit the couple of minutes it takes to clear out the back here for, a heart piece and a red rupee that we saw on kohrek's side.
Yeah, so he is going to do the front of Skull Woods here, which is the one thing that kohrek didn't do over here.
So a flute over there in Eastern from the map chest. That gives us our logical mountain access, but still only just the 2 Light World checks, and I guess Spike Cave is doable now.
Yeah.
We did see 1 item there in the map chest of Skull Woods as well on Sean's side. And death there trying to get to the big key chest.
Yeah.
And this is the struggle, is just kind of like, there's a lot of eyes on you in this race, and you have to kind of just take a deep breath, and you didn't get to the top 16 by accident.
Yeah.
And you just have to take a deep breath and recover and kind of manage that. Like, I know what I'm doing, just got to get back in my rhythm here.
Yeah.
But that is very tough to do when you're on an elevated stage in front of plenty of people, just directly in person. Not to mention the awareness of the restream online.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, these deaths aren't as bad as they could be. This is, you spawn right back in this room. You just, you have to be able to put it out of your mind and just move forward with the rest of the seed here.
Yeah, it's really more about managing your own emotions at this point than, that you're losing lots of time here. It just feels like you're struggling even just to get through a few rooms and get back into the groove of things.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got the flute activation here for kohrek.
Yeah, so I think he didn't go to the vanilla big key chest in Eastern. I think he.
We're going to see if we can find that second Skullwoods item here for Sean.
Gonna.
So we've got the old man rescue going on kohrek's side in the dark. And
All right. There's kohrek again.
what?
Mm.
That was harsh.
Yeah.
On Sean's side.
That was. Yeah. He's gonna go back for it.
Yeah. We're going to get to see what's on top of Oh, there's flippers on top of Spectacle
Okay,
Rock,
so yeah, get a mirror. Have to come back.
Yeah, and we're still looking for that second item out of Skullwoods. I believe that has to be in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, we are going to get Spike Cave checked here on kohrek's side.
Yeah. You might as well.
Uh-oh, that's not going to work out.
This is going to, I was going to say this is very tight, and
it's
just not enough.
So much closer than I thought it would be even, but yeah, and just not quite enough magic there after the bonk, so.
All right, so kohrek probably leaving that behind. Or is he going to come back for it? Oh, no, he's going to flew away,
yeah. Problem is that we don't really have a way. I mean, I guess we can bonk off the tree again back going to Village, but there's not really a reason to go there yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be that's going to be probably the only path to getting the magic refill. And now we're getting Kern jump across the river here for Sean.
Yeah.
There we go.
Didn't have a lot of hearts. Couldn't fail too many times, but he's got it. He's got it down here.
Yeah. We'll have to be a little careful heading over. I assume he's going to check check catfish first.
Yes.
Yeah, so is her progression is it either in Spike Cave, Zora, or over here in East Dark World?
Yeah. Yeah, we seen.
And looks like we're going to see kohrek setting up the fake flipper here as well. So this will be his first trip over to Zora area. So we will get to see the Zora item for the first time. Sean gets a much needed refill there from the catfish.
Yeah, yeah. So one thing about these so many heart pieces that every so often you get a nice little refill along the way. That one was pretty clutch.
Yeah, the downside is that you're playing with less total health for most of the seed. The upside is that you might have full health for a few rooms that you wouldn't normally.
Yeah.
kohrek getting a less well-timed refill there out of the Waterfall Ferry room, but not a real big deal since he has the Moon Pearl and can get right back into the Waterwalk state. So 2 new checks coming up here. Will be our first look at the pyramid as well.
Yeah. that's just a shield there.
And bombs on Zora, so.
So still looking for that progression.
Yeah. Sean giving us a thumbs down for his displeasure of the bombs on Pyramid. But he is going to head over to Palace of Darkness, and yeah, this could be our answer here in terms of density. It's certainly probably the largest number of items we've got available anywhere in the seed right now.
Yeah.
And kohrek may be heading that same direction here.
Yeah, we might see Pyramid or maybe even Catfish before Pod, and judging from where he started, as opposed to just fluting over to 5 if you want to go to Pod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we are going to see Pyramid first on kohrek's side, but probably continue this up to Catfish if I had to guess, and then make a separate trip for Pod later since he's got the flute and can just go to flute 5 like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd probably be quicker to save quit and flute than run back from Catfish.
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
And we do get a key on Sean's side, so this is not immediately bow-locked dungeon.
Well, that's good because I wouldn't have liked our options very much if it was a bow lock.
You have to go back to Spike Cave.
Yeah, exactly. But we will see. We know there's going to be 4 small keys out of the 6 checks, or at least 4 small keys out of the 6 checks here in the front.
Mm-hmm.
There is one on the bridge.
That bomb going to make it? Oh, yeah. Okay.
And kohrek getting the bad news from Catfish there as well.
Yep. So insulted he didn't even take it from the Catfish offered him.
All right, so we're at 3 small keys out of the first 3 checks, 4 for 4 now.
Okay,
So we are definitely not bow locked here.
No, yeah. In fact, we are not bow locked out of the back of the dungeon. Although we are going to go ahead and it looks like Mimic Clip and get those 2 items. If you've got a good Mimic Clip, makes sense.
Yeah. And kohrek is heading into the Dark World here. He's going to get that magic refill we talked about. And then we're going to see if we can send this Mimic out of bounds here through the wall. So we're trying to get that Mimic off the screen, kind of trick the game's enemy detection system into thinking that because it's off the screen that it doesn't exist anymore and that it can open the door for us. Kohrek's going to make his first trip into Skullwoods, get the one item out of map chest here, and then do a whole lot of clearing for dungeon items.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking for these little 1-frame inputs into the wall here for the Mimic, and you kind of can see him getting nudged left and then back right, and that's what you don't want in this situation because it's getting pushed back out of the wall there.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of kind of nuance to it, and again, this is one of those things where you're sitting up on a stage in an unfamiliar setup trying to do this on an unfamiliar screen, and
I'm thinking about my own Mimic Clips and how stressful that would be right now for me.
Yeah, for sure. And so Sean's saving quit out of there instead of taking perhaps a death warp back up to the front of the dungeon. So I'm wondering when he's going to get back to Pod there. That's kind of interesting that we got the time commitment to get over there, get through the first few checks, but we just got small keys and left.
Right.
So,
we definitely could have gotten into the back.
Yeah.
And that's where, the items are going to be at least a few of them.
Right.
Although I suppose without any fire, most of those in the back are actually locked away.
I was going to say, I guess the compass chest is available to us in terms of logic. Yeah, this has been a slog towards progression here. We got that early Dark World access, and then we've just kind of gotten nothing since then.
Yeah, it really feels like we just need to find that one item to open things up, and it's going to really start flowing from there.
Yeah, we Kohrek plucked the flute out of Eastern Palace, and that's been about all we found in the past 20 minutes.
Yeah, and it really hasn't, offered us too many more options other than quick movement around the map to find nothing.
Yeah, and you can check out the smiles on our runners' faces to see just how much they're appreciating.
You can see how thrilled they really look. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna see Kohrek heading over to Pod here now. That's gonna be, I think he's going to be a little bit more invested in getting as much as possible out of this dungeon, regardless of how the Mimic clip goes, if he even attempts it.
Yeah.
But he's got fewer places left to go in terms of where the progression can be to unlock the seed, and he's really hoping it's not Spike Cave, but
right
now we're looking more and more like it's
Spike Cave.
Maybe just Spike Cave.
Yeah. So Sean went up in the mountain and checked inside Spectral Rock and did not even make the attempt at Spike Cave.
Yeah.
Noting the health and magic situation. It would have been a really tight.
It would have been tight, yeah.
And maybe thought, I don't need to take another death right now. Let's just.
And that again, that's part of managing things through a run is when you're not maybe on your A game that day, you have to kind of play to your level and not push yourself into other situations where things just can kind of keep spiraling. So yeah, we're seeing Sean heading back into the Dark World here. We're gonna try to get a hover attempt from Kohrek.
Okay. Yeah.
One attempt and done.
It's a worthy attempt.
Yeah.
It's very valuable if you hit that hover.
I was going to say, it is a pretty significant time save if you can get that, especially it's a time save versus, bow and boots.
Yeah.
Getting back there, much less doing it versus a Mimic clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing Sean heading back to Thieves Town. We were hoping that the death earlier would deter him from sticking around here, because right now we know that he's going to get the fourth item out of the dungeon from the attic, and then the green pendant item was just a heart piece at Sahasrara.
Right. Yeah, and if he had found something by now, I think we wouldn't be back here.
Yeah.
But now he's thinking that there's not a lot left. He still has not actually been to Eastern or Saha yet, so
right.
This could also be thinking, I'll get that green pendant before I go over there. Get this check done back here.
Although now he's got the extra nervy walk around all the crickets here with
again,
half a heart.
Again, needs to be careful with these crickets. They will. He's got half a heart, so anything will kill him. But
all right, it's a
key.
Fifth small key on compass chest. So
all 5 logical checks here were in just small keys.
Does that make Harmless Hellway?
All 4 logical checks that we have, and then the extra one.
Yeah.
There's the 6th key.
All right. I promise this dungeon has more than keys. You're just gonna have
I know
to
it
take
doesn't
my
seem
word
like
for
it. The good news is we can't get any more keys. We can get a map and compass, but we literally cannot get any more keys. We've gotten them all.
There's our first first real item in a while. We got a mirror out of Harmless Hellway and Pod. So that gives us access to Hera, gives us access to the east side of Death Mountain.
Okay. So I think that means that there's got to be a fire item, either a lamp or fire rod, that we missed in Logic. And it could very well be in Spike Cave.
It could be, yeah.
There's a bow.
Oh,
my gosh.
Oh, Sean.
No. Oh, if Sean had gone back there.
Oh, geez. This. Yeah, so that bow now gives us access to clear this Palace of Darkness, and we have the mirror to get back to the start of the dungeon easily.
Yeah. Sean is stuck here?
Yeah, you kind of just got to fall in the pit.
Yeah. Okay,
and then the very timely fairy drop.
Yeah, that's very handy, yeah. Yeah, so I believe that bow is not actually bow locked because of the key layout here.
Right.
So
yeah, we have no keys on the right side here, so that isn't logic. And Kohrek's going to take I think a tactical death here to get his health back up to 5 hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to try this Dark Turtles room here, going through to the back, I think, is the plan here, to try and get this whole dungeon completed.
Yeah.
But that's going to be, he's on green mail, 5 hearts, no safeties other than the Cane of Burna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is not easy. What he's going to attempt to do in Dark Turtles.
Yep.
But worth a shot. If you get it done, that's great.
Meanwhile, Sean taking down Blind, taking a quick moment to kind of recompose himself here.
Mm-hmm.
But
oh.
No!
All right, so there was a Bowlock bow. It was just in the other part of Pod.
That is criminal. So both bows are in Pod. One of them locked directly behind the bow checks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's going to be. I think that's going to be rough when Sean finds that.
He's already been pretty expressive with his emotions through this one, but that one's going to just send him to the moon, I think. Now, knowing what happened there with the Mimic Clip and then leaving the not one but 2 bows behind.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right, so got a save and quit out of Sean. Looks like it's the eastern area now.
So he is definitely going to get the bad news from Saha. We'll see if he gets into Eastern Palace and gets his flute here. But that flute, again, only adds a couple of checks in logic, and he's already done 2 of them up on the mountain.
Right.
And we got a use of the Quake Medallion here from kohrek.
Yeah.
Sean once again voicing his displeasure while kohrek is turtle hunting here. He's down to 2 hearts now.
You can see how fun this is as you blindly hammer.
He got 2 of them there at the end, but there was at least 1 left.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So kohrek's going to leave that behind. So that's going to be, he's going to sit there and sweat that one out like, hey, well, couldn't pull off Dark Pod today.
Yeah.
It's going to require either a return trip or doing it again after Eastern here, but you're probably not going to have any change to the fire situation here.
Yeah. I'm not sure it would be worth it to kind of throw yourself at it repeatedly and hope for the best. Gave it a shot, but although again the bows that he found in Pod don't open much other than beating Pod and Eastern, neither of which are going to actually be in logic without a lamp or fire rod.
Mm-hmm.
So. What is left other than Spike Cave?
Yeah, it could be that we just needed to get a fire source out of Spike Cave that put those pod or put that last pod key into logic for us. It could be, I think that may actually be.
So there might end up actually being.
It could be something else on Spike Cave than just the fire source, but probably it is something leading to it.
Yeah. Hookshot would give us East Death Mountain access. We do actually have that with the mirror and the hammer, although again not logically.
kohrek having some fun with the Igors here. I think we are going to see the big key chest, which we did not see on kohrek's side earlier.
I don't believe so, but I might have missed it when he was in here.
All right. Well, compass on the boss, so I think that would, assuming a good count here, imply an item over at the big key chest. Anyway, we have our first crystal of the race here at 43 minutes.
A little bit later than you like.
A little bit later than you'd like.
In a casual boot seat, but Oh
my God, that's mitts in big key
kohrek
chest.
leaving that behind.
So-
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So Sean does not. Sean got a shake of the head there, but
that's actually something. Yeah.
that's an interesting, very interesting placement for him.
Yeah. So a question for him now is going to be, if he's going to wait for a bow to go back to pod, he will be waiting quite a while.
Yeah. No, he's.
So how these mitts are going to give him some more options right now, but how soon before he decides to, come back there?
Right. But we've also got just so much that we're still looking for in
Yes.
this seed. Like, we know we're going to need the cane. We know we're going to need the fire rod. We know we're going to need a hook shot. We're probably going to need another, potentially going to need another medallion.
You might, it really depends on what Turtle Rock is requiring to get into.
Yeah.
Kohrek did pick up those flippers off of Spectacle Rock as he heads into Hera here.
So one item down in the map chest, and we're going to see Sean take those mitts and immediately start doing some mitts checks. We're seeing hammer pegs here first, and then potentially some more smith chain after that. 20 rupees there at hammer pegs.
Yeah. Okay, so it's unfortunately for Sean, he doesn't have the mirror, so he's going to have to do this a little bit of a slow way, though he is going to be able to use the flute.
Yeah, flute makes this a bit more bearable, although the purple chest does not get. You still got a pretty long walk to that one.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a Moldorm fight from kohrek here.
Moldorm bully.
Moldorm 1, kohrek 0 so far.
Yeah.
Oh.
Add insult to injury, the beetle takes a shot too.
Just tumbling down the floors of Hera like Wile E. Coyote somehow. Oh gosh.
Oh, there's
the fire rod on the blacksmith.
Okay.
But that's good and bad for Sean.
It's another thing that's going to keep him
keep him away from pod.
Yeah.
And second Moldorm fall for kohrek. So everyone, we're gonna have to do some therapy in the post race interview on this one.
I'd say uncharacteristic. All right, there we go. Moldorm succumbs.
And of course,
and
it's
a small key.
Small key.
All right.
Yeah.
So, it looks like Sean's going to immediately take that fire out and go beat Skullwoods, which makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense to me here. We know there's an item there, and you got to follow what advantages you've got, even though he probably doesn't feel like mitts are an advantage for him when he found them.
He probably does not.
We see that floating island is just a red rupee today.
So, the one thing about those mitts is that kohrek is going to be funneled back to them relatively sooner than some other items because the mitts lock so much, including...
Right. He doesn't have a whole lot left,
Yeah.
Eventually he's going to realize, especially if it comes down to the next to last location being Lamp and Spike Cave. That's just going to be
Yeah. That's not going to be a feels good.
No, not at all.
All right, so the final item is going to indeed be on Moth in this dungeon, or the big key, which will lead to the final item, which requires you to run back. Always a favorite.
Right. It's as fun as the big key on Argus and Swamp.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of...
Okay, speaking of fun, there's the shovel there.
Yeah. And an ether medallion out of Paradox Cave. So still not not a lot of answers from the mountain there, at least unlocked by the mirror.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Sean taking a death to the mini Helma there in the back of Skullwoods.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's going to have to farm up a little bit of magic from this room, which is
Yeah.
always a good time. And Kohrek stealing himself for return to Spike Cave here. Of course, going to go 0 for 4 on the Heart Flowers.
Yeah. You should have enough this time to get through this.
Yeah, an extra heart plus a full magic bar should alleviate.
And Sean
just
is short.
A tick short. Oh, so okay. So
yeah,
10 arrows there in Spike Cave.
Okay, so it wasn't that then.
Yeah. Sean just is not having a good time in this school. It's just is not having a good time overall.
No, I don't think
really.
so.
And
I think this
you feel for him here in this situation because there's really, it feels like there's nowhere to hide. There's not a better place to go in this one. There's a nice
that'll help a little bit.
A nice full magic drop. So that'll at least get him through this room here. And I guess was the mirror actually in logic by the key layout in pod then? So I don't know exactly how all of that works, but there's a book behind our mirror, so he's gonna probably Kohrek's gonna you see the head shake there. He's gonna probably turn tail here and head right back to Bombo's tablet.
Yeah.
All right, good for Sean there. Gets down the gets the Mothula kill and gets a. You know what? It's a mean blue mail, but it's a welcome blue mail.
Take it. I think at this point. And there's a bottle, so Kohrek just finding all sorts of things that require you to go elsewhere to.
Yep. So fetch quest to fetch quest there.
Yeah.
But that is our first bottle between either of the runners today. So.
All right, so we'll see what Sean's next decision is going to be here.
Is Kohrek, does he have any real options left other than, obviously going back and getting his mitts or going into Swamp Palace without the hook shot here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He could go up and
Ether tablet.
Ether tablet. Okay, that's not that. And we can go into desert.
Yeah, and Sean's gonna, I think, go into Ice Palace here, or maybe this is gonna be his Zora completion. No, he is going to Ice.
Okay.
And yeah, I forgot that the book opens, of course, Desert Palace for Kohrek here, which.
Okay. So you do need to be careful with magic in Ice Palace without any bottle or bombos here, because you will need a full magic bar to kill Colster at the end.
Yeah, there are a couple of possibilities for places you can pick up small magic decanters if the enemies aren't dropping them, but you do need to have that full. You either need to be on full magic or have full health, to be able to break the shell of Cold Stare with just the Fire Rod and no other, no safeties, no half magic.
Yeah, if you do have full health, you can use Sword Beams to kind of conserve that magic, and it's.
Right, yeah, there's a little bit of a technique there where you can kind of dupe some of the Fire Rod hits with the Sword Beams. There's our lamp over in Desert Palace. So yeah, that lamp was definitely locked behind that mirror in Harmless Hellway.
Yeah.
Because both of the routes into Desert Palace required that mirror. Sick Kid not paying out for us today. We're going to see Sean trying to get off the spikes there and get his IPPJ going through the dungeon here.
Yeah.
But again, health is becoming a concern here. Down to 3 hearts. Going to be 2.5 after the bomb jump here.
Okay. Got the bomb jump.
And Kohrek says, I've got that lamp. I'm going to go back to pod and get that cleared up now just so I don't have that hanging over my head later.
Yeah. And once he beats Helmasaur, it will be a great opportunity if he wants to go back into Eastern and grab those grab the mitts that he left behind earlier.
Yeah, that's, if there's ever a time that it's going to be a convenience for him to get back there and check it.
It's now,
It is going to be after he clears pod here, but... meanwhile, we saw a second wayward fire rod shot there from Sean on his side. So now that you kind of mentioned it earlier, but the magic consumption has been, is concerning here now that we're getting closer and closer to Cold Stare. We don't have the extra key to get in to the room to the right there to get the magic pots under the pots.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to come back upstairs and get. I think Ice Tea is the big key here as well. So having to do a little bit of an awkward route.
Yeah. If he isn't able to have a small key for in that end room there, I'm not sure how he's going to get the magic he needs here.
Yeah, well, I think he can take this back down this way if he just comes back through these same rooms coming out of Ice Tea, but then that doesn't. Okay, so it's just a small key.
Just a small key. Okay. So I think he'll be fine then.
We'll get that fairy. Yes, that'll help a little bit.
Yeah, that fairy is actually very helpful.
Yeah, if he can get back down to the boss room with full health, then he's
in multiple ways
in much better shape.
Also gives him a little bit of he could take a hit or two from Cold Stare as well.
That for sure. Yeah. Meanwhile, we got.
Oh.
This time we got 2 Helmasaur on Kohrek's side.
Oh, he didn't get the big. So he skipped something.
I know he didn't open the big chest.
Yeah, he doesn't have the big key. So I'm not sure. I don't recall what he skipped here.
Did he just not go through right side because of the key loud?
Oh, it's possible. Yeah, because he doesn't have a hook shot either.
Yeah. So yeah, he is going to have to go back through the right side of the dungeon here if he's going to see the items of Ice Palace.
Yeah.
And
there's a bomb jump that you need to do, but you need to get back up. You can go this way through this key door, and then bomb jump across to get to that side.
Right, but this is all, we've kind of already talked about it, of just kind of managing emotions through the seed, and this isn't going to settle your stomach down any.
No.
Meanwhile, good news for Kohrek is that he is going to go back in here. I don't know how much he has left. There's a clutch magic drop for Sean.
That's helpful as well. Yeah, he's good.
Love to see that. But Kohrek is going to pick up his mitts here out of the big key chest that he skipped earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to open up some things. He's actually going to logically be able to get into Ice Palace. Still no cane or hookshot. May not be 100% appealing. Mire area.
Yeah, I think probably checking the Mire area first, just getting that Mire entrance requirement, knowing that, and then the checks there with Mire Shed and Checkerboard Tablet are going to be nice for kind of an early appealing option for him once he pulls these mitts.
Yeah. And there's also Dark Death Mountain and checking there's a cane there, an icebreaker chest. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So you got that.
So you are going to have to do.
Yeah.
That means we know the hook shot is ahead of cane in logic, but we don't really know where that is.
No.
There's still several mitts lock checks that we haven't seen. There's front of Swamp Palace.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite. And Kohrek's face says it all right there.
Can't feel good about those right now, but
yeah, that is a risk you take anytime you make that any sort of early gamble.
Yeah.
Eastern Palace Big Key Chest is one that has bit many a runner, myself included, before. And And I think he's probably upset, but also a little relieved that like it was just the mitts and not say a medallion that we needed for go mode later, or one of those really squirrely items that doesn't block much except for your go mode.
Right.
All right, so we've got a 1.5. Oh no! Oh. So Sean, a little too aggressive moving up in the room there.
Yeah.
And the last 2 fire rod shots went into the wall, and so
okay. Well,
Ice Palace will not be clearable for him. If there's any consolation, is that he does have the cane out of there at least. So when he comes back, he can do a much quicker route through the dungeon. But that's not really a consolation.
No,
that and the seed that already has not been going to script for Sean, that is just add another one to the pile.
Yeah. Yeah, so now it's a question of what he's going to do next. We might be seeing...
Yeah, and kohrek, remembering the order of operations here for optimal smith chain. Gonna grab the smith here. He's gonna get his fire rod here in just a second. But then still we're running low on places to go, on where our next steps will be.
Yeah.
We've got the mitts, but they don't do that much on their own. It's really just we're still looking at Front of Swamp, and we're still looking at Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah.
And there was one item, I think we only got one item out of Hera earlier with the small key on the boss.
I think that's true. So
and kohrek did not have a fire source at that time, so that is a lovely check. We got Ether Tablet up there that I believe no one's gone back for.
Yeah. I didn't see if we checked the Meyer medallion requirements.
I did not see it when kohrek was there. I assume he peeked it and I missed it.
Yeah, that's my assumption as well, but I didn't see. And he doesn't have the cane yet, but you would still be able to access the front. I don't know if that's super appealing, but I'm not sure what is at this point.
Yeah. Sean's is he gonna go right back to Ice Palace? He is.
Okay.
So if the horse throws you off, you got to get right back on. And kohrek gonna take his fire rod. I'm expecting this to be back of Skullwoods here immediately. That's also gonna give him no, it's not. Sorry, I misread the tracker. Swamp Palace will give him Pyramid Fairy, not Skullwoods.
And actually, at this point, kohrek is just looking for we're just looking for the hook shot for our no mode, I guess.
Right. He's going to have to get into Ice Palace and get that cane at some point.
And possibly Bombos if that's the requirement to get into Turtle Rock.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess, we're really kind of sitting here waiting to figure out which of the bad locations is going to be the right location today.
Yeah, I feel like we've been on repeat with that all seed long.
Yeah, this seed has been just a slow trickle of items to us, and one thing unlocks, 3 more checks at a time.
Yeah.
One of those 3 is useful.
I mean, it's been over an hour, and we have between the 2 runners, we have 3 crystals. It's,
that is
something you see very
often. Given that we've had sub-hour runs, completions of the game in this mode this week, it's this one is not playing out favorably for speed here. kohrek going to get his 4th crystal here.
Your 3rd crystal, because one of his dungeons here is. Oh no, I'm sorry. You're right. His 4th. I didn't see that Hera was completed there. You're right.
Yeah, I think that just got marked off on the tracker from earlier. Shout-outs to Matty Walker, who's doing our tracking today.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a tough one to keep to keep up with here.
Yeah, and there is a nice, clean cold stare kill. And a heart refill of some sort as the reward for for cold stare, whether it was a heart piece or the sync heart that was placed.
Yeah.
We couldn't really see it in the explosion there.
But all right, Ice Pile is done for Sean. He won the rematch.
Yeah, and going to be a potion buy here for Kohrek. I'm sure Sean would have loved to have done that as well, but he still has not found that first bottle.
No.
In fact, hasn't found the shovel to dig up that first bottle yet either.
Right. Well, yeah, he needs to get the mirror out of pod to even be able to do that. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And I think for Sean, it's kind of, at this point, he's out of favorable options, it feels like.
Yeah.
Because he's going back to places that he knows he's left behind before or had, some kind of issue like pod earlier. And so from his perspective, this is, he feels like he's missed something. And in a way, he has with that, what happened in pod earlier. If he had been able to stick it out in there, get the mirror, get both bows, I think he would have felt a lot better about his place in that race, especially with, Mitz being right there for him as well. But right now he is just kind of searching to get back into this one.
Yeah. And does he remember he has the flute? Because
I don't think so, because we've seen a few, like when he went to Ice Palace, he went the long way there to set it up versus fluting to 8. Did he do? Yeah, I think this has to be purple chest for Sean now.
Okay.
Because he did the other.
All right, so Kohrek is going in here in ice. So once he goes over to the right side with his own bomb jump, he'll have the Cane of Samaria and just be the just need that hook shot and maybe bombos.
Yeah, and that is valuable information to know where the hook shot, I guess, kind of has to be in the seed.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to find it inside of Turtle Rock. You're not going to find it, if you behind Pendant Vidi in the seed.
Right. So actually, you want to kind of do Turtle Rock because it's another crystal, but it's not not going to give us what we need to finish the seed out.
Yeah, and Sean, I think you can kind of see the frustration there on his face. It's again, we talked about this. It is legitimately a very different environment here than playing in your room at your desktop, that your nice setup that you're used to. You got the cat in the windowsill or whatever.
Yeah.
It is very different. It's just a lot of pressure being kind of on him today in an unnatural environment for this. And so you're seeing a few mistakes more than he normally makes, and even more than he made getting through groups and getting through the play-in race last night to get here. But that can happen here. The restream room is a very different environment than the rooms downstairs.
Yeah, and even when you're being restreamed at home, you're not physically seeing a bunch of people watching you. Kind of compartmentalize and kind of forget about it while you're running.
Yeah, you can't glance over to your left and see 20 actual human faces, like all kind of watching what you're doing.
Right.
So there's the flute activation.
You were getting the flute, yeah. Kohrek got his Cane of Samaria there. So he'll be going and finishing this dungeon. Okay, so Mire area now for Sean. I think it was Ether.
I still didn't see it.
It's a very quick check of the pendant.
I think based off of
there.
based off of the like bottom left corner that I could see, it's either Ether or Quake.
Okay.
So, yeah, Sean still needs to get the Ether out of Paradox Cave when he gets up to the mountain.
Okay.
But I guess it
must be
I
Quake
guess Quake.
then. This must be Quake. Okay, it is Quake. So he can go in here. So we'll see if this is helpful to him or not.
Yeah, even if he finds hookshot in here, it could be advantageous to him if he can get back on track with the seed. He really just needs to get back to pod, get that mirror. Yeah. That's the biggest thing that would help him out in this situation. But having hookshot in hand, you know, if it comes out of here, that could be a good place for him still. And Kohrek on his Cold Stare fight gets the 6 slashes up in the corner. And gets crystal number 5. So for Kohrek, a little bit of decision time here. I think, you know, Dark Death Mountain looking like a potential play because you're looking for hookshot, so you don't feel bad about leaving the last 3 items in hookshot cave behind. You've already got everything you need there.
Mm-hmm. And
the downside is that you have to make the long trip around the mountain.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, also the information about the TR medallion and making sure it's not bombos that you're also missing.
Yeah, that is a good point.
So that if you do find the hookshot elsewhere, you know that you're done, as opposed to in kind of that limbo of, do I need the bombos to compete TR or what, you know?
We did see our first item out of Misery Mire over there. It was 300 rupees out of the spike chest, and we got a small key off the bridge. And this is going to be new information for us as well here. Ether tablet getting checked on the way over to TR. Just a heart piece for Kohrek. Small key and compass chest.
Okay.
And we are going to follow it through going down to the big key chest here in Mire.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kohrek going to give us our first look at the TR medallion. It is bombos.
Oh,
okay. Of course it is.
Yes. The seed would do that to you, right? So.
Yeah, and bombos played a starring role in last night's play-in race for this one as well, which Kohrek did not have to participate in, but Sean did, and he managed to kind of find the items in the right order in that case to get the bombos before the mitts that opened up the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And there's our hookshot in Super Bunny Cave.
Okay, so yeah, now we just need to find the bombos. And conveniently, hookshot cave will be available for the entire all 4 checks without even having to hover.
Yep. $50 rupees there in the first chest. More rupees, heart peas, and we are still looking for our bombos.
Yeah. Would not be surprised to see Swamp now from
Swamp, I think, is probably the most obvious play. We'll most likely see him go to the back here first, being just a bombos for go.
Yeah.
I think you're going to make the more efficient play here and then come back in for left side Swamp potentially. He will have the option of doing Pyramid Fairy after that as well.
Yes.
And then there is item number 2 out of Mire for Sean.
Okay.
So at this point, he's clearing the dungeon, making a play for Pedestal.
Yeah, which is...
I think, you know, he's playing to his outs here. I think he knows this has gone a bit off the rails at times without, you know.
There's no way that he feels good about what's been happening here.
Right, and so when you're in that situation, you kind of have to lean into, well, what's the one thing my opponent won't want to do?
Yeah.
Let me go do that, and then if I get something there that's advantageous off of it, I can, at least, keep giving myself a chance in this one.
Yeah.
The downside, of course, is that we're still doing this in the dark because.
Oh,
and there's the Go Mode Bombos in the map chest of Swamp Palace.
Yeah.
So that will lead kohrek to just be able to go straight through the rest of this dungeon.
Yeah. So I don't even know if he'll check anything else. He's got Tempered Swords as the highest level sword he can get.
You're on 9 hearts. I mean, you might...
Blue mail. He's got silver arrows.
Yeah, there's...
Do you want powder? Is that,
The only thing you could really want at this point is powder or cape, and you've got Berna anyway, so...
Yeah.
I think for a player like kohrek, I think he's going to feel reasonably comfortable, especially since I think he still has that blue potion from the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be pretty much just...
Yeah,
we're not even going to check the diver down checks.
These are probably the easiest chests to open along the way here. He's ready to go.
Yeah, I think he is well set for GT and everything else here. Meanwhile, Sean down to half a heart on his. Oh,
okay.
Oh gosh, and just
the
the punishment just will not stop from the game.
No.
You can see it. Sean's not having a fun time.
Yeah,
it just has not been his day. But sometimes it goes like that. And it doesn't mean that you just have to chalk it up to one bad race. It's not that you didn't get here by accident, right?
No, yeah.
So,
he had to play very, very well in a very tough group, and then beat a whole bunch of really good runners in a play-in race to get here. So.
Right, and so you can't read. You just got to shake this off at the end of the day and go find a pickup mode with some friends afterwards and.
Shake it off, put it behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, we see. I think Sean has reached a point with this one where it's like there's probably not a realistic path to victory for him from his perspective.
I think he's. Yeah.
So I think he's kind of checking out of this one. kohrek, meanwhile, has finished off Swamp Palace, has his 6th crystal, just needs to clear Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower to go kill Ganon.
Yes.
Sean is heading back to the east here, so this will get him towards pod and get him back on track for the seed. kohrek going to head into TR here. He's got that. Oh, no, we're not heading to pod.
Okay.
But yeah, kohrek has that Bombos in hand. He's just going to be able to go mode this dungeon and then head over to Ganon's Tower. I think Sean... I wonder if what happened in pod is that Sean, when he save quit there, was maybe had misremembered the key layout. And so he assumed that it was bow locked and doesn't want to go back there without a bow specifically because of that. He thinks, if I had to guess, that's...
He thinks he's missed something.
Yeah, he thinks he's already written off pod is kind of what I'm thinking. Or he would have been... Or he would have been back there, or he would have just taken a death warp in the dungeon itself when he was there the first time.
Right.
So, yeah, I think he is double-checking on things that he has checked at this point, thinking that he has just missed the boat on something.
Right.
Seed. Battery wanted to show off the catfish troll,
Yeah.
which did not amuse Sean in the slightest there, I have to say.
Got a bunch of keys so far on Kohrek's side here in Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock also another dungeon that loves to front load the keys for more for obvious reasons in that case because of just the number of doors you have to go through to get to the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah. So we do have the big key, so we'll be able to skip Lava Chest, just head straight on back, and just hope to not get the 3%ed.
Yeah, exactly.
Where the other small keys are in Lava Chest and Big Chest, and you skip both of them because that's what you do.
Never happens except when it does.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I can see Sean kind of officially deciding to throw in the towel there. I imagine Kohrek will still play this out to completion.
Well, I think he has to.
Yeah. I think there was actually a little confusion on that from previous races in the weekend, but I don't know exactly the rules on it. In my shoes, I would be playing it out just to be sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Kohrek is still making his way through the back of TR here. Needs to find one more small key out of the 5 chests. Oh, that's nice and convenient. So he'll be able to skip Laser Bridge entirely.
We won't see Laser Bridge.
So yeah, this will advance Kohrek to the second round of brackets here. I'm not sure who the potential opponents are in round 2 for him, but we can.
Yeah, I don't recall. I saw the bracket earlier, but I can't.
Yeah, I can
bring it up here.
So the Kohrek will get the winner of Error and Relkin.
Okay.
So that will be a fun and spicy match that I think is happening to my right.
Yeah.
At this point.
It's I think it's being restreamed on one of the other Speed Gaming channels currently.
Yes. And there's a Trinix kill for Kohrek. That is his 7th crystal. I can't see the chat right now, but I know what's happening in the chat.
Yeah, it's the drama that's left is the GT big key guessing game, right?
Yep. So 1 to 22, we're going to guess where that big key is. And Kohrek will have that key to find, and then a climb to do, an Aga fight, and a Ganon fight to officially advance out of the first round of brackets here. And again, make sure you check out Speedgaming 1 through 4. We're going to have live races coming to you from Herndon, Virginia all day long. Going to be a lot, not just Link to the Past rando. We've got, I know, Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker randos going on. There's Super Metroid, plus Zelda. There's
There's Super Mario Bros. 3.
Super Mario Bros. 3. I know there's some Mega Man X 100% coming up later today. A lot of good stuff. We're finding all the small keys here in GT.
DM route here, yeah.
Just like that pod. It's just nothing but small keys everywhere.
Just kind of just like, give me the big key. Let me finish this, please,
The game doesn't know the context here. Well, there's a heart container and a powder, so Hope Room at least having a little bit of sympathy, if not just giving up the big key that we wanted. Compass room going to give us various garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the sampler pack of garbage.
That was one of everything.
Yep. So now we're heading over. I believe this will be check 12 at this point.
I wasn't keeping
1,
count.
5, 7, 11, 12.
Okay. Yeah.
And for kohrek, the pressure is off at this point, but you can still see him kind of whenever any. And I know the same struggle too. Just like any small execution thing where you're just sitting there stuck watching your boomerang fly off in the wrong direction than you intend to hit or anything. There's nothing to do but just sit there and
the red boomerang, cooler strats I think, but also I don't like it as much as the blue boomerang.
It is one of the most divisive topics in our community.
Yeah.
Really, do you prefer the red boomerang or the blue boomerang? They both have their advantages, but control is not the red boomerang's forte.
No.
It is sparkly though.
Yes, it is. I do like the sparkles.
So we got check 18 coming up here at Bob's chest. And we will see Bob today since the mushroom on the torch did not get picked up.
Yeah.
Kohrek, not even going to powder him. Bob lives.
Yeah. Didn't need the health, so let him live.
Yeah.
All right, so it's either here behind ice armors or you have to go back to tile room.
Thankfully, the silver arrows making nice quick work with that fight.
Yes.
There's our last small key.
And it is a tile room. For kohrek, just kind of annoying in terms of the time that he's going to spend
right.
having to do this.
I could be filling out my taxes now.
Get an early start.
All right, so as we wait on our tiles to shuffle around here. What's your favorite way to entertain yourself during tile rooms?
I mean, if it's a non-competitive race, I'm probably going to check my phone for a minute. If it's a competitive race, it's I do I do like to do this. The dodge keeps me engaged a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the boomerang strats.
Are you? Yeah.
Not that I should be, because I've almost gotten grabbed way too many times from just goofing off in there.
Yeah.
But, keep the thumbs fresh.
Either boomerang or hook shot can be even more dangerous if you miss.
Sure, I have cape. I could just hold on to the wall.
You could,
It'd be fine. But what's the fun in that?
Yeah.
Gotta have a little danger. Nice and clean through mix 1 and 2 for kohrek. Going to be a relatively pressure-free climb for him.
Yeah.
But still, 7 hearts, and does have a safety there in the blue potion. Should anything get off kilter.
I know he's got a pretty friendly Ganon fight coming up with the tempered sword and silver arrows.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really necessarily need to save his potion for that fight if it comes to it.
Right, and silvers will help as well, because you don't have to worry about magic concerns going through, say, a Fire Rod Landmo 2 fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty clean so far.
All right. You always see a few different strategies
I know.
for Landmo 2 silvers.
Everyone has their own. I think that is the room where I see the most individual strats.
Yeah.
And that one with the long distance shot on the first one there made me a little nervous, if I'm honest.
That was a nice snipe.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
So that's, that's. If you've got the timing down and it works for you, it doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to kill him.
Everyone gets their little setup because you want to, you have to manage the fireballs and make sure you don't get hit from them. So. Magic consumption is nice. Gets to use Fire Rod in Torches 1 and Torches 2 without having to refill or anything like that.
Yeah, that always feels nice. And then be able to grab the full magic decanter in this room. Gonna use looks like he's gonna get the powder out here.
Yeah. It's left himself just enough to get that powder off.
Very careful management there as the last little the last little tick of green goes away and then gets refilled right back. And looking for a little revenge on Moldorm from earlier.
Take that. Yeah, he's not knocking me off the platform this time.
Nope.
A couple more rooms and we'll get into the Aga 2 fight.
You can kind of read kohrek's face there, like I didn't expect that double to work,
Yep.
but it did. And gets one there on the second cycle.
Yeah.
I have seen some of the gnarliest Aga 2 positions this week. I don't know. Sahabat, he's grouchy this week.
There's been some rough positions there. There we go. A little more friendly ones, but.
Look, at least kohrek didn't loop the music like some of us did.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah. You get that, it's like, oh, it's a really short boss track because it's usually a really short boss. And getting to a loop point feels bad.
All right, so just a Ganon fight left for kohrek. Got his tempered sword, got his silver arrows, got his pretty full health bar here. Gets the 12 hits in for phase 1 there pretty cleanly. Looks like he's set up well for phase 2.
Yep.
There's his 12 hits there as well. So right into phase 3.
See if Ganon will relent and not warp too much here in this phase 3.
Yeah. It seems like we're finally getting our mercy from the seed after the tile room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Only one warp here. That's nice.
I'm gonna get quick hit in, get this first single arrow, and then see if we can get a position here where we can get 2 more. That should work.
Yep.
And just off on the timing. So we'll probably need to relight the torches here. Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
And this will do it. GG's to kohrek, advancing out of round 1 of the brackets into the round of 8.
Yep. He can go and watch his potential opponents race each other here right after the interview and everything.
Yep.
See who's going to face. We'll have kohrek join us. Hey, GG's kohrek.
Thanks.
GG's. Yeah, so a few fun things in that seed to discuss.
Yeah, I mean that was a rough one for sure.
Yeah.
So I especially liked the answer being bowless, lampless, mirrorless pod to get 2 bows and a mirror. That was a highlight.
Right. Yeah. No. So it was sort of interesting because we saw Sean into pod earlier than you. He was trying to do the mimic clip on the right side there on the first pass through, and got kind of stuck with it. But I think at that point he had convinced himself otherwise on the logic of the dungeon with the key layout, and didn't go back to the back.
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
And so when he finally forfeited at the end, he never made it back to pod. So I think he had just kind of checked that off in his head as like, this can't possibly be the answer, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I think it was all small keys, right?
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Yeah. That, I mean, I can definitely see that happening. That's really rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough seed. There were some, rough item placements. I guess I got lucky that the options were so bad that I went back into Eastern when I had the opportunity because I think at that point I had like the front of Swamp and I don't know, like Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb or something.
There was never like a real point in the seed where once after you kind of got the early Dark World there out of Moon Pearl from Ice Rod Cave for you, and then from there it was just kind of just a slow trickle of items for a very long time.
Yeah. Like the early Dark World options were not great. You just had Pendant Thieves Town, and you didn't really have anything for Skull Woods. You didn't have anything for Pod. And it was even worse when Thieves Town was, 3 like as early as the items as they could be. And I'm just like, man, do I really want to get this green pendant?
We both had the same. We could read your face pretty well on that one. It was like, am I really doing this whole dungeon for 1 item and a green pendant? Yep. And then when you get to the attic, it's like, am I really doing the rest of this dungeon for one green pendant?
Yeah, it was a pretty awful seed, honestly. I mean, there's definitely worse, don't get me wrong, but this had a lot of nasty things to trip you up.
Yeah,
so.
and the logical playthrough of you go into pod, you get your mirror, you go to desert, you get your lamp, and then you come back and get your mitts from Eastern.
Yes.
And I believe there's even conditional key logic in pod involved with that mirror. You're only getting 5 logical small keys to get into the Harmless Hellway, with the other small key being locked behind the lamp, which is locked behind the book, which is locked behind the mirror in that Harmless Hellway. Logically, this would be an absolute mess to play through without, if you didn't break any logic,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think I played well overall. There's always little hiccups, but, I think I liked the skips I made at the time. Obviously, they didn't all work out, but it is rando, and I'm definitely happy to come away with the wins. Kind of sad about how it happened, but
yeah.
I'm looking forward. I mean, I'm face the winner of Airy versus Relkin, and it doesn't matter which way that goes. That's a matchup. So I'm really excited for that. So
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll probably wrap up here pretty soon and go try and check out the race ourselves just to see how it's going. But yeah, it was a pretty well played race, all things considered, given how just scattered the item placements were, everything like that. Even the skips like the Mitts and Eastern Palace Big Key Chest really didn't punish as bad as they could have if with how the seed played out. So. Yeah, best of luck. Best of luck to you through the rest
Thank
of
you. And thank you
through
for
the
the
rest of
comments.
brackets.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. And we'll thank Matt Ewalker for tracking as well. Very appreciated for sure.
Yes, definitely. And make sure you check out, like I said, we got games running here all day on Speedgaming 1 through 4. Make sure you check those out. I'm not sure which channel is currently hosting the Airy versus Relkin race, but that's probably a great one to check in on if you're looking for some more Link to the Past action, but there's plenty more happening here all day long.
And I believe Gamachu and Gem is coming up on this channel very soon after we close out. So, and then there's more games after that. So, stay tuned.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, everyone.
Yep. All right. Thank you. We'll see you later.